Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick how I put the wire on the rope. A lot of people use a hot glue gun. I don't have a hot glue gun on me right now, so I'm just going to tape it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to line it up with the tape that I already have, because I know this part is not getting wrapped with the yarn, and I'm just going to go ahead and tape it right on top of there to keep that wire secure. And then I'm going to pull it semi-tight across the rope and secure it on the other end. And then when we go to wrap the rope with the yarn, that's going to secure the wire to the rope. Okay, so next you're going to wrap your rope. So you're going to take your yarn and just give yourself some slack. And so this is what it looks like once it's wrapped. And we're going to take one of our pieces of rope with the wire taped, and we are going to tie off the yarn on one side. And if you did the rainbow keychains that I showed several months back, it's pretty much the same concept. So you're going to just tie it off, and then you're just going to go down the entire rope and wrap it. Just trying not to leave any bare pieces of rope showing. Okay, so starting it off, it's kind of a little bit harder when you're starting off because you have all that extra rope showing, but I'm just going to take it and just start twisting. Okay, a question I get asked a lot is how I tie it off. So I've already started to tie this one off, but what I do is I take the yarn, and you just split it. So you would pull it like this to split it into two pieces, and now you have your two parts that you can tie a knot with. So you would just, this end's already tied, but just to show you how I do it, and just tie it. So this end is the one I'm doing right now. So I have my two pieces split off, and I am just tying knots to secure the yarn to the rope. And then I like to flip it and do it again on the other side to keep it really secure. And once you have that, just cut it. It doesn't have to be perfectly cut because all this is going to get frayed, so this is going to hide in the fray. So if you have all these little ends, don't worry about it. They're going to get hidden. Okay, once you have all your rope wrapped with yarn, then we're going to go ahead and take off all the tape before we move on to the next step. Okay, so once you have all the tape off of your rope, that's when you're going to go ahead and trim the wire off. Just try and get it as close towards the yarn as you can without cutting the yarn. Okay, so now we are ready to connect our rainbows. So I finished doing all the yarn. I've got all the tape off. I've got the wire cut, and it's been sitting on my kitchen table for a couple days because life. But now we are going to connect it. And like I said earlier, there are two ways you can do it. You can take a needle and thread and go through each piece of rope to connect them, and I would suggest doing it in 5 different points at least. or you can use a glue gun. So I found my glue gun, and that's what we're gonna do. So how you're gonna do it is you're not gonna get near the rope part of it, you know, where we're gonna fray it. You really wanna just push these together and hot glue along the seam of where your ropes meet up. Before starting this, always make sure that everything is where you want it to be. And as I'm doing this, I'm kind of pinching them together just to really hold them together. And just kind of pinch it as it dries. Really lock that in. And then you can go back around one more time if you need to seal any spots that didn't stick. So I'm just kind of going through and I'm pinching my rope. And then after you do that, you're going to go ahead and do it to all the rest of your rope. Okay, so after you've glued all your rope, it's gonna look like this, and your rainbow is ready. And the last step is just to fray all the ends. So you're just gonna undo all this rope at the ends and fray it up.